speaking of classic,
speaking of
nerds,
hellos.
Speaking of nerds. Hey, fellow crappers, it's your old buddy, it's your old pal, R.D. Reynolds here, once again with Wrestle Crap Radio. And as always, on the other end of the tin cannon string is the
Gorn to my red-shirted Leslie.
Every once in a while, I start to think I'm the biggest geek on the planet, but then I just call you and I feel a lot better about myself.
I don't like where this is going. I'm starting to feel like I should have a pocket protector on me or something.
But I can be the first to tell you, yes, well, the Berserker was actually John Nord, and he worked in the AWA, and he was later known as Big John Nord and Yukon John Nord, and he was a Bible enthusiast. You know, so I don't know where I really get off making fun of you. If anybody should be making fun of anyone, it should be the entire world making fun of me, R.D. Reynolds. Did you hear that the WrestleMania bus was broken into? Now, before you ask, and I know you're going to, and I'm sure that everyone listening to our Golden Tones right now are going to ask the same thing.
I got something to ask you.
Go ahead.
Is Hillbilly Jim safe?
Is Hillbilly Jim safe? What's wrong with... What does he think? He just rode around? Do you think he drove the bus?
Yeah.
What do you think?
When I think WrestleMania Bus, I think of Hillbilly Jim being on there.
Well,
as he travels the country 365 days a year.
Yeah, that dude does. He's he is like the PR man for WWE. You know? And the thing is, like, I didn't even know there was a WrestleMania Bus until I was told that it was broken into. Apparently it's this bus that rides around the country, and it goes to malls, and you can go in and you can see wrestling, you know, items of the past. You know, I mean, it sounds very strange. My first question, and I have a lot of questions about this WrestleMania bus.
Yeah.
Odds that it was just the Lex Express and they just painted it.
That's what I was about ready to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess if crippled kids gravitate to it like a magnet, it would be the Lex Express. Don't you remember that when they would show all those promos of the Lex Express, and he would always get out, and there'd always be these crippled kids and children and everybody?
Well, I thought maybe he just had a big magnet and he was wheeling them in. That's what I thought you meant when they were gravitating towards. I thought he had like a big, like the bus had magnets on the side, and as he was driving down the road, like these wheelchair-riddled kids, just like wheeling behind it. What is this? What is this? This is the worst. Is it great?
Dude, that's awesome. I feel like Tony the Tiger. That's great.
Oh, Lord, that's the worst fanfare I've ever heard in my life. What is that?
That is fanfare with a capital S, which signifies great music for our question of the week.
Oh, Lord. So wait a minute. That's the new music for question of the week?
When listening to that, do you think otherwise?
I guess, I don't know, this must be a hell of a question for this to be the music for question of the week. Prize-winning question of the week.
Award-winning question of the week.
You must have one, so go ahead and lay it on me.
Yeah, you know, you've been all over me, busting me out with all these questions lately.
Mm-hmm.
So, here, I'm going to have a question for you.
All right.
And if I may borrow another one of your lines, speaking of the Spirit Squad...
Yes.
That's the Spirit... Oh, by the way, this is from a Wrestle Crapper, Eric Majorwitz.
Oh, okay, great. Posts on the forum all the time. He's a good guy.
He's a good kid. The question is, since the Spirit Squad... Since the Spirit Squad has debuted, has Vince called you inquiring if you would part with the Katie Vick outfit for an upcoming storyline?
See, now, if you think about that, that actually works on two levels. Because whenever I heard there was going to be a Spirit Squad, I thought it was going to be like the old druids that would come out with the Undertaker.
Ooh.
So now you have Spirit is in the the cheerleader thing with Katie Vick, and Spirit as she's dead.
That could work.
And
what other dead guys do you want out there with them, Deal?
I am 99% certain that you could actually make it a triple play, because I think that whoever came up with this idea had to have been drinking a lot of spirits.
Good point.
Thank you. That's what I'm here for. Boy, that Spirit Squad thing's off.
Yeah. And speaking of spirits,
speaking of awful, that music can mean only one thing. It's time once again for Blade Braxton's weekly wrestling haiku. Let me explain this to you. I've said this once, I've said it 100 times, I'll say it 1,000 times whenever we're through with this radio show. You can go out on the internet and you can go to all the websites. You can subscribe to 50,000 newsletters. You can read magazines.
Don't do it.
You don't need to. You don't need to. There's more to life. Open up your windows. Move out of your parents' basement. Have you ever kissed a girl? You don't need this. You don't need this. What you need to do is just listen to Blade. He's going to condense everything in wrestling that you need to know down to 17 syllables. That's all you need to know, and he's going to do it right here.
There's so much condensation going on here, you might have to change my name to Morning Dew Braxton. They've got spirit. Yay! Spirit Squad's got spirit. Yay! They've got spirit. Gay!
I thought you were going to say, give me a G.
And listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story.
That was the worst ending ever.
We have to say goodbye.